His wife's out of town.
I know.
Should we be good to go?
All right, well, call this meeting ordered. Roll call of members, please.
General,
Here.
leaders.
Here.
Berger,
Yes.
Anderson, and Kai are absent.
If you had a chance to read the minutes, is there a motion to approve the minutes or make corrections?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carried. This time I'll read a statement on how the meeting will be conducted. Public hearing will be conducted pursuant to the board's rules of procedure as adopted May 26, 1988. We will first hear the report of the planning director on the detailed information on observations regarding the request, if not done so in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we will take the testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon completion of the applicant's testimony, I will call upon members of the audience wishing to make a statement concerning the request. Persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those who oppose it. At any time during the presentation of testimony, the members of the board may interrupt or ask questions or make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of all testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the board. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing on the request. After the public hearing has been closed, we will then hear the recommendation, if any, of the planning director. And upon completion of all discussion, I'll entertain a motion of the members of the board regarding the disposition of the application. Each speaker addressing this board shall step forward to the podium and state their name and address before proceeding with their testimony or evidence. I'll ask that you spell your last name. This board shall not be bound by strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that may deem to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rule on all questions relating to the miscibility of evidence, which may be overruled by a majority of the board. The board may grant a continuance in a case for good cause shown to any interested party who has entered his appearance. The board may at any time request a continuance of a hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for any other reason the board may find sufficient. In such case, we will state a specific reason for the continuance and set a date, time, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of this board will be made at public hearing by motion made, seconded, and appointed of membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or amended hereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of this board. Once this board has reached a decision on a case, that decision shall be final. Section 335.18 of the Iowa Code states, any person or persons, jointly or severally, aggravated by any decision of the Board of Adjustment under the provisions of Chapter 335, or any taxpayer or any officer, department, board, or bureau of the county may present to the court a record of petition duly verified, setting forth that such decision was illegal in whole or in part, specifying the grounds of legality. Such petition shall be presented to the board, to the court within 30 days after the final decision of the office of the board. Upon that, I would ask for a motion to open the public hearing on case ZB-2026-01.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Public hearing is now open. Jared, if you'd like to come up and kind of tell what you guys are going to do.
My name is Garrett Johnson, 1283 Piedmont Drive, Nickerson, Nebraska. Johnson's Johnsson. I'm here for the applicants, Mr. and Mrs. Bain. They live at 20374 Magnolia Road. They would like to build a detached garage adjacent to their house. And they're looking for a variance on the setback, which is currently 75 feet. They're requesting a variance of 55 feet due to the existing slopes and topography around their parcel. I don't know if you have pictures that.
Yep.
So there's very significant slopes adjacent to their house. If I were to draw a line, that 75-foot setback, it pretty much would be at the edge of that drop off where you see that 2-to-1. And so obviously the Los Hills zoning district it was created to preserve a lot of the natural topography and minimize, I guess, soil erosion, et cetera. And so it not only benefits the owner to try to move his detached garage further forward just from a constructability standpoint, but it also preserves a lot of the natural landscape and topography in the area on the parcel. So there's a well and septic, also the septic being on the west side of the house, and there's a well on the east side of the driveway that we have to work around as well. But really the topography is the main issue and why we're requesting a variance of 55 feet. The house does sit down quite a bit off the road, and so I don't believe it will be an eyesore or anything along those lines, because ultimately everything is below really eye level as you drive Magnolia Road there.
What kind of, is the shed could be like a tin shed, or is it like a match the house siding wise, or is that?
I wanted to match the house.
Well,
It's-
okay.
It's gonna be.
It'll be a stick frame, I believe.
Big frame?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if if there was a way it could be turned, I guess, so that wouldn't, cause like the front, like the 55-foot part would maybe, not quite so close, I guess, but I didn't know if that was possible to do to kind of.
Drops off.
We're trying to give ourselves also a little bit of space on the backside for future erosion as well. I mean, obviously, the closer we get, the more worried we are about trying to maintain that slope so that way it doesn't eat into the permanent improvements that they're proposing. But yes, I mean, we've had discussions of different avenues of orientation and position to try to minimize, I guess, what variance we're looking for.
So that's kind of my question on this would be, so you're at 69 feet here. That flat slope, you can see by your 2-foot contours is all there. If you were to move it back to 6 feet to where it'd be 75 and orientate the building in that fashion straight across, then that would maintain your setback distance. Is it just because we're trying to load up the concrete here versus extend that kind of around? 'Cause, I mean, I imagine you're gonna remove these trees.
Yep.
In the construction of it anyway.
Yep. So I think in that orientation, you'd be putting your back edge right on that slope. And that's also where, I guess, just for long-term protection of like the improvements that we're trying to give ourselves a little bit of space off of that where it starts going down 2-to-1. But you're not wrong also that orientating it closer to the driveway does provide just better flow, I guess, of just vehicle traffic around there. But putting it back to the slope is where we get a little bit concerned about just that long-term protection of the structure.
Staying back from the ravine.
Yeah. Jared's already had to do a little bit of work around the north side of his house just to reestablish grade and whatnot around the deck on the north side. So I think that just, Jared, you bought the property 3 years ago? 4 years ago? So I think the original owner, you bought it from the original owner that constructed.
This is the second.
Oh, second owner. Okay, sorry.
What's the size of the new building?
It proposed to be a 30 by 40.
Yeah.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What was your first name again?
Garrett, Garrett.
Is it right if I ask one more question?
What's that?
Is it right if I ask one more
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
So on your back side of the building, that's back here,
Yep.
how much area are you trying to give yourself to preserve that slope?
6 foot.
So from,
I'd say 6 foot minimum. I think, but yeah, 6.
So maybe able to pull my,
I mean, if we scale it, I'm sure like this area, like that's a pretty good, that's more than 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Anybody who'd like to speak in favor, or Dan, I guess we do. We plan on coming up, are you good? Anybody who would like to speak in favor? Anybody opposed?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Moved in second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, public hearing is now closed. We ask for the recommendations from the staff.
So our recommendation on it, is is to deny their request as it is based on that orientation aspect of it. I mean, I guess I'll show you on the map. So you can- So I can understand that they need to preserve this back slope back here because they're having erosion issues kind of along there. And maybe it's something that we can go out and see. If you guys wanted to do a site tour of it to see what the erosion pieces of it are back here. But I do think just if you were able to, that's 69, bring it back a little bit and turn that building a little ways, that it wouldn't have to be as great of a variance, if anything, to the 55 feet. But I would say without seeing that ravine, for lack of better terms, because it is pretty deep.
It's deep. I'm familiar with that property,
Oh,
so.
so well then, yeah.
I know the original owner, I know the original owner pretty well, so.
So that would be,
So I know it's steep.
yeah, so it would be something that, I mean, I think it'd be willing to consider at that point in time with that ravine being there, not wanting to disturb it. If it is having erosion issues at all, staying back from it because, I mean, there's already a number of walls out there trying to hold things in place as it is, and if they get to moving things around that ravine, then it's gonna cause problems.
Yep.
But I just don't know right now what that distance is.
I think we should probably go out and look at it. No, before, so what do you think?
It's up to you guys. I don't.
You don't need to because you're already seeing it.
Yeah, I don't, that's up to the rest.
So I mean, maybe you can give us more of an insight. I mean, if you think it's a valid concern on that ravine part of it and just,
Oh, I think it is. I mean, I haven't been to the property for several years, so I don't, I mean, I know the property from the original owner and it's steep. So I see where they're coming from, where it's wanting to try to preserve that, because yeah, otherwise you get it built, you're gonna end up with all kinds of problems later on, so. I don't know. And I guess, I look at it, I know it sits down in there, it sits down from the road, so I mean, I think the idea of the 75-foot setback is say to preserve the view of the Lush Hills and stuff like that. I don't feel like this affects that, so. To me, I don't see it as being a big issue for them. I mean, I'd like to see them obviously push it back as far as they can, but, I mean, I trust that. Garrett, right? I trust that Garrett's probably already done
My
that.
intention with building this building is to,
Sorry, we can't.
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, that would be kind of the reason that would be the reasoning on what it would be, because I mean, we can't, the only other one that you all have granted before in the past was almost the opposite effect of this, right? It was in the less hills, and it was to try to preserve from having to dig into too much, because it was, that property went up, right?
Right.
This one goes down,
Yep.
and then obviously has a ravine,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it's a safety concern to have it that close. I mean, I don't know if that's part of why the code is what it is, to keep things back off of the highway for safety reasons, or off of the, not the highway, but the roadway.
I think the 75 feet was established just to maintain that rural feel
Yeah.
of things being back further from the road,
Yeah.
but.
And I mean, that doesn't, for us to grant the variance, it's gotta, be a hardship that a great difficulty, maybe it would have to be something we need to look at to make sure that it's not just where it looks, aesthetically, maybe that's where it needs to go, but maybe that's, I guess
Well, we're doing it for the hills, right? I mean, so the safety of the building afterward, right?
right. If that's true, or how close it is to the ravine, I guess is the part we don't know.
Can we tell that? How close is the building foundation to the ravine?
As it sits right now at that 55 feet.
Also, what's the height of the building?
I plan on doing 12-foot ceilings, so I guess I don't know what the peak of the roof would be.
15 or so, would you know?
15, 16.
There's 12-foot ceilings, yeah, it'd probably be 16 to 18 feet at peak.
The erosion that you see now, do you see it? How close is it?
To be honest with you, the
Or is it just
erosion I've seen has been minimal, but it just looks daunting.
daunting? Oh,
Like
gosh.
it looks, the hill it's straight down, but I haven't,
How many
in
feet
the
down?
4 years I've been there, I haven't seen any of it go away.
How many feet down?
Probably drops 25 feet.
I think the overall deed is like 60 feet. Like from the high to the low of the property, there's 60 feet of drop.
I'm just talking right off my
Right.
back patio, the ravine. It's at least 25 feet. And it's steep. You don't want to walk up it.
Yes, it's at least 20, I mean, on the topo, it's 24 feet. Wouldn't be the depth of the ravine from.
Did you figure out how many feet it was from the edge of the building?
I just got my drawing to scale, so 1 sec, sorry.
Okay.
It looks about 10 feet from the the northeast corner, which is the closest corner to the.
Up up.
Now, yes, could drawing could it be orientated a different way to maximize your distance there? It can be, I mean, that's an option.
I guess I would like to look at it.
I think so. What's that? No.
Yeah, otherwise, there's room there to turn it, but I think that's probably the route you need to go, but. I guess if, when you
Okay,
would like to make a motion
I'll
or
make a motion that we go and view the property before the next meeting.
a continuance for reviewing,
So somebody second.
I'll second.
Like what time? Do you think?
You wanna leave here at 4:30?
for next meeting, is that what
Yeah.
we're thinking?
That's what we do. Usually
Usually,
we'll
yeah.
leave here about 4:30, get up there, be able to view the property, then come back here. Then
Okay. Fine. Moved in second, roll call vote, I guess.
Leaders,
No,
General?
Yeah.
Stella?
So we've been, motion carried, we will do a continuance. Come look at the property before our next meeting, which some soon we'll have one next, be the
We did.
third week.
we did. We definitely do now.
So what we'll do is, I don't know exactly what the date is yet. We can contact you on it, but, will come out to the property that day at 5 o'clock. And if you could have the building staked out, and then that way the board members can see it. And then they'll come back here and they'll make a decision on it.
Sounds good to me. 27.
Is it the 22nd,
7th.
27th?
Logistics for the next meeting.
Yes,
So with that, then we would meet here at the property at 5 and then come back here, like right after.
yes,
or as
that'd be
the meeting
okay.
is conducted. Okay,
Yep,
I just wanted to make sure when it went be.
yep, that's what we do.
Is there any other business for us or
Nope.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
moved in second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.